Over the past year, the rhetoric surrounding the infamous January 6th Capitol riot has become more and more exaggerated. The protesters who participated are now being referred to as domestic terrorists.
They were a riotous mob, insurrectionists, domestic terrorists.
They were domestic terrorists.
Extremists stormed the United States Capitol.
You thought you were going to be raped?
Yeah. I thought I was.
The foaming at the mouth from the Democrats has gotten so intense, and the public has gotten so divided, that some are saying that not only the protesters themselves, but anyone who might agree with them is an enemy of the state.
Work to combat legitimate national security threats now entails calling a politician's supporters enemies of the state.
The fact is that getting rid of Trump is the easy part. Cleansing the movement he commands, or getting rid of what he represents to so many Americans, is going to be something else.
Now, many of the more extreme statements that have been made have been retracted or gotten somebody fired. However, it still reveals how extreme the divisions are beneath the surface. So what might the FBI ask you to do? Snitch on your relatives.
Family members and peers are often best positioned to witness signs of mobilization to violence. Help prevent homegrown violent extremism. Visit go.usa.gov to learn how to spot suspicious behaviors and report them to the FBI.
Now the Capitol Police, who are excluded from the Freedom of Information Act due to a loophole, have expanded their surveillance operations and upgraded to military-grade equipment.
This technology will be integrated with existing U.S. CP camera infrastructure, providing greater high-definition surveillance capacity to meet steady-state mission requirements and help identify emerging threats.
Now, you can recall how after the January 6th events, Trump and many of his supporters were banned from social media outlets, including Facebook and Twitter. European voices spoke up about the increasing power of big tech and how it can be used to serve partisan agendas.
The fundamental right to freedom of opinion is fundamental right of elementary importance, and this fundamental right can be interfered with, but through the law and within the framework defined by the legislature, not according to the decision of the management of social media platforms.
The fact that a CEO can pull the plug on President of the United States loudspeaker without any checks and balances is perplexing.
Digital regulation should not be done by the digital oligarchy itself. Regulation of the digital sphere is a matter for sovereign people, governments and the judiciary.
Now, more than 700 people have been charged with offenses stemming from the riot. However, some people seem to be immune. For example, this individual, who can be seen in video urging people to enter the Capitol, has faced no charges. He's been identified as Arizona resident Ray Epps.
I don't even like to say it because I'll be arrested.
Well, let's not say it.
We need to go, I'll say it. All right. We need to go in to the Capitol.
Let's go! Epps was listed as suspect 16 on the FBI's most wanted list following the riots, but now he has disappeared from the list. If Ray Epps had been arrested, his image would still be up on the FBI's website, just with arrested listed next to it. However, instead, he's just vanished. You have to go to the archive.org Wayback Machine to find out that Epps was even ever on the list. The Department of Justice is refusing to give answers about what's really going on here.
This individual has not been charged with anything. Can you tell us, without talking about particular incidents or particular videos, how many agents or assets of the federal government were present on January 6th, whether they agitated to go into the Capitol, and if any of them did?
So I'm not going to violate this norm of the rule of law. I'm not going to comment on an investigation that's ongoing.
Now, despite the Democrats' promises to bring healing and unity to the country, there are still partisan attempts to investigate the January 6th events and, furthermore, to prosecute Donald Trump and his allies. Plus, Joe Biden's popularity numbers are sinking. All of this is raising fear among Democrats that a possible attempt to run by Donald Trump in 2024 could lead to even further discord in the United States or possibly civil war.
30 million people right now who are ready to take up arms. You put that together with what the president, the former president, I should say, and his allies are doing in the political realm. Yeah. State houses, state legislatures, and the party apparatus to be able to engineer a situation where they are in a stronger position to pull off a coup in 2024 than they were in 2020. That's not hyperbolic at all. Those are all facts.
I think that could be the end of our democracy, not to be too pointed about it, but I want people to understand that this is a make or break point.
The events of January 6th are certainly worth investigating. The country deserves to know the whole story, but that is not what is taking place on Capitol Hill. Key questions are not being asked. The actual facts of what took place on the ground remain somewhat a mystery. However, the rhetoric from Democrats regarding Trump supporters has just gotten more and more shrill. If the goal is to bring the country together and make sure events like what happened on January 6th never happen again, over the past year, we've seen anything but that.
I think any time that we see a riot or any kind of massive disturbance or anything like that in American society, authoritarians in government use it as an excuse for more control, more laws, more enforcement powers, basically more government. I think that any time that something happens that one party can use against the other political party, I think that they're going to do that. They're going to exploit it as much as they can. Anytime that Republicans can find an incident or an issue or something that they can use as a wedge against the Democratic Party, they will do so. And anytime that the Democrats can find something like they've found with January 6th that they can use against the Republicans, they will. That's the endless good cop, bad cop routine that they play against the American public in order to distract us from the fact that they're working together to rob all of us blind.